Welcome to Low-Carb Movie Plots, where we break down your favorite movie's plot into a 3-act structure: the setup, the confrontation, and the resolution. I'm your host, Kazurk, and today we're covering Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Return of the Killer Tomatoes is a 1988 American parody film directed by John De Bello. The sequel to the 1978 film Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the film stars Anthony Starke, Karen Mistal, John Astin, and George Clooney. Yes, the George Clooney that we all know and love. And now to the plot. Set 10 years after the events of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, referred to as the Great Tomato War, the United States is safe once again, and tomatoes have been outlawed, although authorities still deal with tomato smugglers, who sell to people who cannot live without ordinary tomatoes. Wilbur Finletter has been praised as the hero of the Great Tomato War, and parlayed his fame into opening up Finletter's Pizzeria, which serves tomato-less pizzas. Working with Wilbur is his nephew, Chad Finletter, who is a delivery boy. With Chad is his roommate, Matt Stevens, our boy George Clooney, a suave ladies' man, obviously. However, trouble returns with the villain, Professor Mortimer Gangrene, and his assistant, Igor. They seek to unleash another wave of tomato terror. Professor Gangrene was perplexed at being defeated by Puberty Love, the worst song ever created, and says that this time music will aid rather than hinder him. Gangrene has created a tomato transformation chamber by which he can turn ordinary tomatoes into replicas of men and women. By dipping ordinary tomatoes into vats of toxic waste and then placing them into the chamber, Gangrene uses music to his advantage with a jukebox that is hooked up to the chamber, allowing him to create virtually anything by the use of whatever song he's picked. Michael Jackson seems to make tomatoes into a clone of Jackson. The Miami Vice theme seems to make replicas of Don Johnson, and seductive music apparently turns tomatoes into beautiful women. God, I love 80s movies. Gangrene's preferred music is rock, which creates soldiers. That's so metal. With his tomato commandos, Professor Gangrene seeks to attack the nearby prison, where he will break out the imprisoned ally Jim Richardson, then take over the United States under the subjugation of his killer tomatoes, and installing Richardson as the President of the United States. Gangrene also used his device to create an attractive female replica named Tara, who serves Gangrene. When Chad delivers the pizza there, she lets him know what she does for Gangrene. I'm his lover, I also cook and clean. Why is my heart all of a sudden beating faster? That is until she realizes his abusive attitude towards a wrongly mutated tomato, whom she dubs FT for Fuzzy Tomato. Tara defects to Finletter's Pizza, where she starts dating Chad. He doesn't deserve you, Tara. The quirky plotline partly breaks the fourth wall as characters tell the audience that the production has run out of money. Matt suggests product placement. At the time, this was a new practice for film and television as a solution for financial problems. As we all know, product placement got even worse. From that point forward, the film's characters comically showcase and promote various products as the film's plot continues. I'm available if anyone wants to give me money. I need money. Chad and Tara have a whirlwind romance where everything seems to be going magically, except for Tara's strange behavior and extreme aversion to any form of music. Chad's dislike for tomatoes eventually causes a rift between him and Tara, after he rants against tomatoes at a romantic dinner. Tara dumps a drink in Chad's lap in retaliation. While Chad's in the bathroom cleaning up, a violinist comes by and begins to play for Tara, who changes back into a tomato. FYI, music can transform and revert tomatoes' transformations. Panic ensues and the restaurant empties as the other patrons flee in terror at the sight of a tomato. The sound of a chiming grandfather clock turns Tara back into human form as Chad returns to the now deserted restaurant and they leave. Tara continues to protect FT while living with Chad and Matt. Chad notices the garbage truck Igor is driving while Igor tries to find Tara and follow it to the dump where Igor picks up more toxic waste and heads back to Dr. Gangrene's house, where Chad watches as they transform a tomato into a person. Going home, Chad finds Tara consuming plant food, and they both scream and Tara runs away, only to be kidnapped by Igor and returning to Dr. Gangrene's. Chad, who's found a tomato in a grocery store, believes it to be Tara, returns with Matt to use Dr. Gangrene's equipment to restore the woman he loves. They find the machine can create a wide range of people depending on the music used, including more beautiful women of great interest to Matt, but they do not get Tara back. They are captured by Dr. Gangrene, who squishes the tomato, and Igor throws Chad and Matt into the dungeon. There they find Tara undamaged in human form, and she and Chad reconcile. Outside the locked door they hear FT, to whom they pass a message that FT is to deliver to Wilbur, who gathers a team of heroes from the first movie to rescue the captives. But while en route, Dr. Gangrene forces Chad and Matt into the transformation chamber and starts a countdown that will transform them into tomatoes. So apparently the machine can turn humans into tomatoes also. He and Igor leave with Tara to raid the prison and start Dr. Gangrene's plan for world domination. Meanwhile, Wilbur and his team rescue Chad and Matt just in time. At the prison, Dr. Gangrene transforms a bag of tomatoes into a massively muscled, well-armed assault team, and they storm the prison. While fighting, Tara breaks away from Gangrene and Igor chases her, who in turn are being chased by Chad, Matt, Wilbur, and the others. They find that Gangrene and Igor have imprisoned Tara in a gas chamber and threaten to gas her if they don't surrender. Adding to the tension, Igor pulls a pin on a hand grenade. In the ensuing fight, FT throws himself on a live hand grenade before it explodes, and Gangrene successfully triggers the gas. The fumes envelop Tara behind the door as she and Chad have a tearful farewell, and it appears that Tara is finished. Matt presses the button to clear the gas from the chamber. A distraught Chad opens the door to find an unharmed Tara. She isn't human, so the gas didn't hurt her. But plants still breathe, right? Gangrene triumphantly plays music to transform Tara back into a tomato, but nothing happens. Exposure to the gas has made Tara permanently human. Who knew? The town celebrates the heroes again, including FT. As people wonder where Matt went, it is remarked that he returned to Gangrene's laboratory to destroy it, but instead he's using the equipment to produce beautiful women. Oh Matt, you hound dog. That covers the 3-act plot structure for Return of the Killer Tomatoes. In case you missed it, in Act 1, the setup, Dr. Gangrene is planning to take over the United States with a tomato army using a machine that turns tomatoes into humans. One of his tomatoes is a servant, Tara, who runs away and begins a romantic relationship with Chad. Igor, another servant of Gangrene's, kidnaps Tara. In Act 2, the confrontation, Chad sets out to get Tara back from Dr. Gangrene, while Dr. Gangrene starts his plan to take over the US. In Act 3, the resolution, Chad, Matt, and Finletter save Tara, which also foils Dr. Gangrene's plan to take over the United States. Chad gets the girl, Finletter saves America again, and Matt creates an army of beautiful women servants. I give this movie a 5 out of 5 stars. Even though this is a low-budget parody movie just like the last one, this one had a little bit more money and way more of a setup, which invests the viewer deeper into the story, and they seem to be having a lot more fun making it. I've not seen part 3, but let's hope it's even better than this one. Please like, subscribe, and comment. That will build up my self-esteem and make me happy. See you next time.